Hello and welcome to this brand new episode of Editors Roundtable, where editors of One India from all the pin codes across the country join you here to give you the lowdown of the week, also tell you the top stories of the week, and also may possibly forecast the coming week, how it is going to be. To begin with, let's start from down south, Tamil Nadu. From Chennai, Uma joins us from One India Tamil. Uma, uh,
Hi,
clearly
Pankaj.
winds of change in the Stalin state, I would say. This government of MK Stalin, when it came to power, it was saying that the exchequer is dry. But as the years have passed by, we see MK Stalin today launching a very effective, very talked about scheme for the youth, both young boys and girls, those who are a graduate, some money to be given to them. Tell us all about it.
It basically has to do with the long-term propaganda that the Stalin government, which I should say the DMK's regime, a newly found regime with new welfare schemes has been propagating. It's the
Mhm,
non-Mudalvan scheme, and then
mhm,
the Tamil Pudalvan scheme, and the Pudumai Pen scheme. I shall briefly explain about all these three. The
mhm,
non-Mudalvan scheme has been in practice for quite some time. It aims in bridging the gaps between the graduates who are freshly graduated entering into the new campuses, new offices, new job sector. It bridges the gaps between the students as well as the employers. Basically, they are
mhm,
provided with the basic level of teachings, basic level of interpersonal and soft skills, which has been there for quite some time. But right now, there is this scheme, Tamil Pudalvan, which translate to son of Tamil soil. So it basically aims in giving subsidiaries, giving 1,000 rupees monthly support money to the students who have graduated from the government schools in Tamil medium.
mhm. Right.
So earlier it was there for only
Mhm,
girls in the name of Pudumai Pen scheme, which translate to newly found woman or new woman with righteous thoughts. It's been
okay.
translated same into the male sector as well from today onwards. Earlier it was there for women. The money was given for their marriage basically, but as
Right.
the winds changed, as you said, it
Mhm,
was made as an affirmative action which will focus only on the education and not the marriage part. Like it has been left to their own
right.
ideas thereafter. So they're going back to their
Welcome.
basics. They're going back
Welcome.
to the education sector, strengthening the education sector uh, by strengthening the indigenous government schools and the students who are associated with it.
All right. Absolutely. Absolutely, Uma. A step in the right direction, I would say. And yes, as the central, we saw in Maharashtra a scheme for not just behanas but brothers also. Bhaiyon ke liye bhi ek scheme nikali thi. Likewise, MK Stalin has also kept the young boys in mind as well for their betterment. One critical issue, Uma, that is coming up in Tamil Nadu as we speak is the Chennai Metro.
Yeah.
And the monetary aspect has been making headlines for the all wrong reasons. This time around, it has been cleared in the parliament that Tamil Nadu government will bear all the expenses. Tell us about this. How does this delay or expedite the whole metro function there?
It basically delays the project, Pankaj. It's not that something is new, like it's not like something the Tamil Nadu government is asking the central. It has been there for quite some time. Travel back to 2019, 2020, 2021. Yes, there were funds being disbursed for the metro project. It was supposed to be a joint venture between the union government and
Mhm.
the government of Tamil Nadu, where the union government's taking 15% of the total cost
Right.
contemplating to the metro project. But recently, I might say, like for the past 2 years, there has not been disbursal of funds in terms of metro. Numerous questions were being raised. There is a far bigger outcry in Tamil Nadu whenever it comes to funds being allocated by the BJP, be it the aims for Madurai, be it the funds being allocated for the Olympics and the sports development. There is always a comparison laid down between the funds allocated for Tamil Nadu, the funds allocated for the northern states. So I must say it leads from there, and it leads to that boiling point where the MP Dayanidhi Maran, when questioned about the funds being released for the metro, the Minister of State, Mr. Sahu, was kind enough to say that this time they are not going to burn their hands in allocating the funds. This
Right.
has definitely come as a big blow, but I think the government is pretty well prepared for this. I think they have anticipated the same, because Tamil Nadu perhaps has this bad history of not getting the enough funds from the union government and the union budget.
No,
I
they
think
really.
despite the backlash, I think the state government has plans to take this project and complete it within the stipulated time.
Absolutely, Uma. You sitting there in Chennai and Keshav sitting here in Noida, Avinash here in Noida, both come from Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, respectively, if I'm not wrong, gentlemen. And the reason why we chose to discuss these two issues with Tamil Nadu is the very fact that the long drawn debate, Keshavji, I would need your attention here, of Jiski Jitni भागीदारी उतनी उसकी हिस्सेदारी. Now, the South states which have worked well to control their population have focused on their development. Unfortunately, because of their lesser number of population, get less support from the government, whereas states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which have higher population growth, they get more money there. Keshav, how do you see this dichotomy?
Okay, but yeah, by the way, this time around, the voters of India has, equated this equation by giving the checks and balances to both the North and the South. So in North, they have given Nitish Kumar the commanding position. In
Hmm.
South, they have given to
Chandrababu Naidu.
Chandrababu Naidu. So I think very
Right.
soon they will have, a different voice from Andhra and Telangana. But
Hmm.
Uma is very true. I mean, it is not only about Tamil Nadu. Of course, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, for that, to that an extent, Karnataka, where I have lived for almost good 17, 18 years.
Hmm.
So a bit of this type of feelings are, arising. We
Right.
cannot deny it. And definitely the central government owes a lot to those
Right.
states, of course. And then there is a learning also for the northern states.
Hmm.
They have extended themselves. We have, metro facility in Bangalore. The infrastructure is way much better in Tamil Nadu than we have in UP.
Hmm.
No denial about that. It has happened from their willpowers, the way they have planned, and let us not forget the Dravidian model of economy as well. I am quoting it very categorically. I'm not speaking through the filters.
Hmm.
At the at the same time, yeah, I mean, we vouch for the oneness, the unity, diversity, everything, but the feeling is,
Hmm.
rising very
Okay.
rapidly.
Right, absolutely. Keshav, stay with us. Suma, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Editors Roundtable. Really appreciate your time here.
Thank
Can
you
I
so much.
ask there
Thank
from
you,
the
Pankaj. Before I leave, I just
Yes.
wish to say on a finishing note, it
Yes.
doesn't have to do only with the funds being allocated for the development alone. This is descending from the fact that even if it is
GST,
a
GST.
big calamity like cyclone in Tamil Nadu, huge floods in Kerala, the funds being allocated for the relief measure is also the same. It's like quite sickening and quite sorrowful, like when uh,
Definitely.
events like landslides, events like cyclones, and people are not being looked upon as people. Whereas when an election comes, everybody becomes a Tamilian,
And
including the prime minister, citing Tamil phrases. I think more than that, more than the populist approach, Tamil Nadu will still expect more from the state and the center.
another thing, GST. There's many
Yeah,
states have been crying for their share in GST.
yeah.
Right, that is also
Thank you,
important.
Pankaj. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Fair enough.
I would just add one line here. So, Uma, you don't think that UP and Bihar is any different, creature for the central government? Okay, 58,000 crores rupees of fund was allocated to Bihar.
And
Can
eventually,
you
what do you get?
imagine
What do you
how,
get
I
in
mean,
this?
the penny amount is that for a state which has way too poor infrastructure in the country. So all that they are getting is an inflated balloons of promises.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Right.
You guys are lucky that you are not getting that.
Thank you, Keshav. Thank you. Thank you, Pankaj.
Thank you,
Once
Uma. See you next week. Thank you so much,
Bye.
Uma, there from One India Tamil. And sitting in an adjacent state is Kanaya, not so adjacent, I would say, but still. Kanaya, what are things, how are things shaping up in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana? I see BRS and BJP are finally walking that distance and about to all set for that merger.
Yeah. Firstly, good afternoon to all the panel members out there. Yes, this week was full of rumors, speculations, everything that BRS would merge with BJP. So the thing was last week when KTR and Harish Rao. So these two former ministers, when they met her KTR's sister, who's lodged in Tihar jail. So the speculation started out, and today we see that in this very same liquor case, Manish Sisodia was out on bail. So now, these speculations that BRS would merge with BJP, actually they have even more expanded to the whole part of Telangana. Wherever you go, people sitting under the trees are also, they are actually discussing about the same that BRS is going to merge with BJP, and that next week Kavita would be out on bail. So, but few minutes back when KTR, Kavita's sister, Kavita's brother, he made a statement that actually A1 is out on bail. Then that means, so even he was hopeful that his sister Kavita would also be out on bail next week. He's anticipating that, and actually this rumor, this speculation started off. What our sources is that say is that these speculations, they started off from Congress party office. So actually, Congress is also saying that it's already it's spreading that BRS would merge with BJP. So here, what is happening is we need to see it in we need to see politically. If Kavita has to be out on bail, then it either has to go BRS, either it needs to ally with the BJP, or it should make some friendly relations. And if we observe carefully, for past few days, BJP is not attacking BRS, or BRS is not attacking BJP.
Which they were known to be attacking.
Yes, yeah, earlier they used to attack each other. But the war of words that momentum has been reduced. It's very slow now. Nobody is speaking against BJP, as well as BJP is not speaking against BRS. So now both BRS and BJP's common enemy is Congress.
Which is in power.
Yeah, and moreover, BRS is actually gradually it is losing its sheen here in Telangana. And one more thing, so there are also speculations that BRS might go with Indie Bloc, but I don't think so, because there is no chance as of now. If Kavita has to come out safely, and then they have no other option but to link up with BRS. BJP. So that is what is happening in the state, and still KTR is denying that nothing such sort is happening, and moreover, he actually he wrote a post on Twitter saying that if this kind of false propaganda is circulating, he would move to he would take legal actions who is spreading this news. And but still here what we know is that even in Delhi circles also, there is in Delhi political circles also, there is kind of speculation going on that BRS would merge with BJP. But it is only KCR who have to come out and give clarity on this.
Right, you won't believe, at least 6 to 8 months, or maybe a year ago, in one of the television debates where I was also participating, I had made this proposition that sooner or later KCR would buckle down to BJP, whether it wins the Telangana elections or not, because this whole Delhi liquor policy case that had started making its inroads into the southern part, the south lobby that was being talked about. So there was no other chance how the BRS could wriggle out of this whole scenario, except for saying yes to friendship with the BJP. And now it is more or less happening. Let's see how does it take shape further.
And still now KCR has not visited the jail to see his daughter. So that is one more thing that we need to carefully observe here. And there is also one more saying going on, that belief is here. Whoever goes to jail, they'll turn out to become a great leader. For example, they are saying Jagannath Reddy was in jail. He rose to become a chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. Revanth Reddy, he was arrested under vote for note scam. And then last year, Chandrababu. So all these,
K. Kavita is next.
Kavita might grow up to become a good leader here in future.
Right. Thank you so much, Kanaya. We will, if that be the only notion on and the way to be the chief minister, well, then the trend is speaking for itself. Thank you, Kanaya. Have a good weekend. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Ritesh Ghosh is there with us from one state to another. Ritesh, you travel to the border area of India and Bangladesh and the situation unfolding in Bangladesh. What kind of repercussions did you find there? Plus, there must be some voices who must have come there since 1971. What is the scenario now?
Yeah, Pankaji, after this incident come into picture that Hasina resigned and the situation in Bangladesh has worsened from last Monday. For last couple of days, we are visiting the border areas, especially the West Bengal borders, Petropol, and other borders, where we see that people who went there as Indian went there in Bangladesh, they're coming back. Some people still stuck there. The families here, they're worried. They don't know how to contact them. So this kind of situation we have witnessed in border areas, and the Bangladeshis whoever come to India for various purposes, from medical emergency or anything, job, study,
Right.
they are happily going back. So the
that's a temporary
contrasting thing we have seen, the Bangladeshis who have gone there into Bangladesh, they're happy. Even who are coming to India for medical emergency or any kind of things, they are saying Hasina's ouster was actually destined. The way she was handling the government, the country for last 15 years. So it was actually destined for Hasina to face this kind of situation. So this is a normal Bangladeshi point of view we got from the border areas. And the Hindus who are actually Bangladeshi, they are actually out of fear. They are not speaking out freely because of their religious situation. So this is something that is very worrisome. Even
Right.
in border areas also, we have seen the tension is going up. For the relatives who are staying in India, who have come at the time of Bangladesh liberation in 71, even after that also, we spoke with them also. They are actually saying many different things. They're telling us the stories, what happened at that time, what kind of atrocities they had to face at that time, the mass killing, the genocide, everything they had faced. And when they are seeing these things in television today,
Right.
they are actually remembering those incidents that they faced 50, 40 years ago.
Ritesh, but if I have to bring in today's context, then how do you see CAA effective there? Because maybe this was the reason why CAA came into picture. The atrocities on the Hindus in non-Hindu countries is what the CAA talks about, and maybe it's a futuristic approach that this government chose and brought CAA into power. I'm sure 1971 is very different. This situation is very different from 1971.
Yeah, I think this situation is actually apt for the CA purposes. And right now, central government has not said anything about CA or mentioning anything about it. But I think in future, in coming days, they will come up with something, because many people in coming days will definitely come from Bangladesh. They want to take the refuge in India. So I think CA will play a role. We have gone to border districts of North 24 Parganas and South 24 Parganas,
Hmm.
there the citizens of India also echoed the same. They are
Mhm.
actually a bit. They have anger on about the Bangladeshi people who are actually minority in Bangladesh, the Bangladeshi Hindus. They are explaining us that the Hindus should have come earlier into India, just because in 1971 there was some incident happened. Even after that also, the
Right.
minorities of Bangladesh faced such this kind of situation many times. So it was the fault of those Hindus who stayed in Bangladesh even today also. So
Mhm.
they should come over India, because we have the CA rules now.
Right, right. Now, Ritesh, stay with us. Keshav just received the flash on the phone that both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have been adjourned sine die, which means this is the end of the monsoon session, the budget session, I beg pardon. And with this, the Waqf Board controversy, the debate that was going on, now shifts to the next session.
Next session.
And before that, I think we will have recommendations for Rajya Sabha also, the numbers game. This morning, Keshav, when our editor-in-chief was mentioning that India going slow, going slow on Waqf amendment, has it got any repercussions because of what is happening beyond the borders? Because the Hindus are being targeted there, and if changes happen here, do you see now that we have spoken to Ritesh, it makes more sense to go slow on that in this particular session on Raqs Board?
Yes, Pankaj, thank you. I would come on this Buck amendment bill later, but as you have asked,
Mhm.
if we look at the modus operandi of this government, I
Mhm.
don't think because of the situation in Bangladesh, it
Mhm.
will, put this Waqf Amendment Act on the back burner.
Okay.
I believe rather this government would have fuel it, okay, to,
Endangering the lives of the Hindus, thousands of Hindus who are there, who are
no,
facing atrocity.
no, to
Okay.
fuel the Hindu sentiments,
Okay.
okay, for that, I believe.
Mhm.
But of course, there is a technical angle because this government at present does not have majority in the Rajya Sabha, the upper house. It would like to, get this prolonged. The seed has been shown in the mind of the supporters of the
Mhm.
government, or maybe the majority voters in this country. Now, I mean, the next session when it starts, probably BJP will be better positioned to manage the majority. That can be one thing, but again, that I
Mhm.
don't think completely right as well, because
Right.
all of us have known BJP how they can, calculate their mathematics. They might have managed only 3 votes less they have in Rajya Sabha. They could have
Mhm.
easily managed with BRS or maybe BJD also.
Right.
So
Right. And obviously, Chandrababu Naidu is there. YSRCP at times has been a fence sitter. Yeah.
yes, yes. So yeah, including Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, everyone in NDA poll, they are sort of 3 votes. So they can manage it from BJD or from Jagan Mohan or any corner of the house. They can manage.
Right.
Three, 4 votes is not a big deal for the BJP the way they operate.
Hmm. Right. Since we are at Waqf Board, Keshav, Ritesh, before that, thank you so much. I know you had a very long trip both yesterday and today. Please, we would like to bid you goodbye here and good evening, rather. Have a good one. We are waiting for that report that you're going to file there, and it can be seen on One India's YouTube page and also on oneindia.com, both in Bengali, English, and other 8 languages that we produce the content. Thank you so much, Ritesh. Keshav, so what we were talking about is the Waqf Board's challenge, the amendment, which has now
Yeah.
a clear dividing line between the two, obviously the opposition and the ruling dispensation. Asaduddin Owaisi was on fire today. I was
Yes.
watching the interview also, and before I heard him in the parliament also. What is it that Waqf Board trying to achieve here? Because the amendments with change of year, with change of time, are needed, And as one of your panelists also mentioned yesterday, that वक्फ बोर्ड ने किसका भला किया है, पहले ये तो बताइए.
Of course, yes. Okay, I have had a sip of water. I will speak in detail now.
Well, that
Well,
speaks volumes about the intensity of the
yes,
topic.
yes. So it has invited the firestorm as the central government yesterday presented the amendment bill in the Lok Sabha,
Mhm.
while government's allies have supported it, but the opposition has slammed it equivocally. And as usual, media also picked the approach. But I feel, I mean, we need to check the things in entirety. I am adding a disclaimer here. I do not have the skills and the capability to do, a legal review of this bill. But let us go through some points.
Mhm.
It just because BJP government has brought in the bill, everything is wrong or everything is brighter. Let us not build that opinion particularly. So we need to see
Mhm.
what exactly the work board or the work council is, or what exactly the work mean, what changes the government has bring in, and what is the intent or objective behind these changes. So in a plain simple word, if I believe, work board is custodian of the property donated for the Islamic religious purpose.
Mhm.
There can be a debate on how the Waqf board has amassed the property across the country, but there
Okay.
is no denial that the Waqf board owns 9 lakhs and 40,000 acres of land. You would be astonished, Pankaj, to know that this
Mhm.
can be as big as 3 times of the area of our national capital. 3 times. Okay.
Three Delhi's
Three
can.
times. Three Delhi can be, accommodated
Mhm.
in the land holdings of Waqf board. It is only the third to the defense and the railways.
Right.
Now let us, yes,
Remarkable. Mhm.
yeah. Now let us recall the structure committee reports, which this government is also playing upon.
Mhm.
Structure committee reports categorically mentions that the condition of Muslims in this country is worse than that of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. They live a pathetic life due to poverty.
Mhm.
Now, at one side, the Waqf board across country owns near 1 million acres of lands, earning huge profit.
Mhm.
Another side, millions
People
of Muslims
are living in
are
poverty.
struggling to have a better life.
Mhm.
Now, tell me, is helping ones in need or working for welfare of the Muslims community is less pious or less religious? There are bright examples of social concern of Waqf in other part of the globe. You know, the famous Al Azhar University in Egypt and Al Quranian University in Morocco are built on the land of Waqf board. But do we have any such examples back in India? I don't remember. Actually, I don't know.
So basically, Keshav, what you are saying is, apart from the fact that Waqf board cannot be run a parallel government, but it has its commitment and duties towards the society, towards the particular community. Just like we have gurudwaras, which offer you free food 24/7, give you free accommodation also, but they are just helping them.
Of course, and I have more more to say. So, but
Mhm.
and another point here is the dissent and dissatisfaction arose from the community itself. Yesterday, from this very studio where you are sitting right
Yes.
now, a prominent Islamic scholar candidly remarked that the Waqf board in this country are deeply immersed in corruption, and that so far it has not helped any single Muslim individual. So
Okay.
on that premise, I do
Mhm.
believe it is definitely calling for a reforms. And this is not the first time an amendment has been brought in to the Waqf Act. Now let
Right.
us see what changes the government has brought in. Number one, they are saying that now non-Muslims also can be a member of the Waqf board. Okay.
Hmm.
There is exactly, I mean, if you look in entirety, this is not a change. A non-Hindu, Kiran Rijiju, because he is the Minister of Minority Affairs, is already a member of the Waqf board. Okay.
Okay.
And in the other, the religious, set of the temples, the Hindu temples particularly are already in the control of the government of India. A prominent Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam Trust Kanaya is sitting with us.
Mm-hmm.
So in that committee, a Christian is holding powerful position, and he is managing the arrangement of prasadam.
Hmm.
In the West Bengal, recently, I think this year only or the last year, Mamata Banerjee has appointed a Muslim as the chairperson of a governing body of a Hindu temple.
Okay.
So the huge and cries about appointing somebody from a different religion into the Waqf board, I think does not make any sense. And so for the women, why should not women have more representation in any such institutions?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So there I believe the government has moved in right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Again, next big thing that this bill brings is the validity of the tribunal appointed by the Waqf board itself.
Mm-hmm.
So there has been lots of misbelief, misinformation, and myth about how Waqf adopts lands across the country. People believe if Waqf calls this piece of land is ours, it becomes Waqf. And there is an astonishing fact that an entire village in the Tiruchirappalli district of Tamil Nadu has been claimed by the Waqf board, that the entire village. And now tell me, this village would have got populated centuries ago. The Waqf board actually came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the regions people believe that the Waqf is nothing but a land mafia. Okay.
Right.
So the government is saying that in this bill, we are going to do the digitalization of all the property that belongs to the Waqf board, and to decide the ownership of the land, to decide the title of the land. Previously, it was the Waqf board itself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a dispute, you have to raise your dispute before the tribunal appointed by the Waqf.
Then
तो
only
तुम
you
ही
can.
मुंसिफ, तुम ही मुजरिम, तो फिर इंसाफ क्या होगा?
Yeah.
So this
Absolutely.
is going to be changed. Now the district collector will be the deciding authority, the decisive authority on any dispute. And further to it, as always, there is a scope of legal review in the higher courts. Again, here nothing changes. Only that title can be decided by the DC in place of the tribunal appointed by the Waqf itself.
Right.
In
Right.
here, everything looks hunky-dory in this bill. Now comes a fine political trick, Pankaj here.
Mm-hmm.
The bill recommends a separate Waqf board for Bohra and Aga Khani Muslim communities.
Right.
Then I think, and why not so? Sunni and Shia Waqf boards are abundantly available in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Why not a couple more can exist? But certainly it is going to be perceived as to create a divide in Muslim community by the so-called flag bearers of the minority class. And no denial that the government for a long time has been attempting for it. And it has already played Pashmanda Muslim card. You must
Yes.
recall.
Yes. Prime Minister
And
Modi in his speech had mentioned. Yes.
yes,
From
very candidly. And at last, I am coming to the rapport of this government. In the previous session of this roundtable, one of our fellow speaker has said about सरकार का इकबाल होना चाहिए. So that इकबाल is missing. See, it brings, this government brings farm reforms bill that does not go well with the farmers. The government brings Agnipath for youth. The youth goes on to protest. Now it brings in the Waqf amendment for the welfare of Muslim community. The Muslims are not happy. What can be the common reason? I believe, quote unquote, behind all these gaps is probably the lack of common consultation. I don't exactly know, Pankaj, what job the various standing committees of the parliament have been doing for a decade. Where they ever consulted while a bill related to their particular department was drafted, I'm not sure. If it would have been done, there would have been voices from all sides. And then after presenting the bill in the Lok Sabha, the minister would not have, to send it to the JPC. Yesterday, Rijiju agreed. So I actually don't think this government believes in consensus, in mutual agreement. It does not believe at all. For last 10 years, this government is something majority.
Old habits die hard. Maybe this time around.
Yes. That's what. So, for last 10 years with thumping majority, they rarely paid any heed to the voice of opposition. But now let us learn that this is the first time in last 10 years that a bill by Modi government is being sent to the JPC. Now I obviously connect this with the result of recently concluded Lok Sabha election, and the least to say it is necessary to have checks and balances in democracy. So the Waqf amendment bill is not going to open the eyes of the minority community, but the government as well.
Right.
Thank you.
Bishop, thank you so much for this elaborate, stay with us if you can, for this elaborate discourse and clarity on the Waqf Board, Waqf Amendment Bill 2024, which was underway in the Parliament in this session. Kalpesh Kanodia is there with us. I'm sorry, Avinash, I'll come to you right after Kalpesh because we have to know from you all the Olympics details. But Kalpesh, Gujarat is going to polls in some time. Rahul Gandhi very confidently in the Lok Sabha had said that BJP will be wiped out in Gujarat this time around. It has not been very long ago in this Lok Sabha itself. Gujarat Congress has started with Nyaya Yatra. What does it want to achieve and how effective will it be?
जी पंकज जी, जैसे अभी राहुल गांधी ने पहले ही स्पष्ट कर दिया है कि वो उनका अगला फोकस गुजरात है। वो गुजरात में से बीजेपी को हराकर कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट बनाएंगे। तो प्योरली इस एजेंडा को सक्सेस करने के लिए ये कांग्रेस की न्याय यात्रा शुरू की गई है। आज मोरबी से ये यात्रा शुरू की गई है। टोटल 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट से ये यात्रा पसार होगी, जिसमें मोरबी, सुरेंद्रनगर, राजकोट, अहमदाबाद, बड़ौदा और गांधीनगर, ये 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, जिसमें 54 असेंबली सीट्स आती है। और गुजरात की 30% असेंबली सीट्स ये 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट होल्ड करती है। तो अगर ये 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट पे अगर कांग्रेस पकड़ अपनी बना लेती है तो इससे कांग्रेस को बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हो सकता है। लेकिन अगर ट्रेंड देखें तो 2017 में कांग्रेस के पास इन 54 सीट्स में से 18 सीट्स थी, लेकिन 2022 में वो बहुत सारी सीट लूज किया और अब कांग्रेस के पास सिर्फ इन 54 सीट्स में से 2 सीट से बची है। तो कांग्रेस के लिए ये बहुत ही बड़ी जिम्मेदारी होगी कि 2 सीट्स को बढ़ाकर एटलीस्ट इन 54 में से 50% कैसे किया जा सकता है। और इसी टारगेट को मद्देनजर रखते ही ये न्याय यात्रा शुरू की गई है।
Right. Right, Kalpesh, thank you so much. I hope that the elections that are due in Gujarat obviously once again reinstate and bring the government which truly has worked for the people there. Quite an interesting state there, Gujarat. Obviously, we have seen how it has been dilly-dallying also in the past, and both Congress and the BJP are hedging their bets. Thank you, Kalpesh, for speaking to us. Avinash, well, as they say, saving the best for the last. Although not the best of the results that we expected from Olympics, but boy, oh boy, what a dominating scenario there. First, Vinesh Phogat's unfortunate exit, which I believe you would be shedding some light on that what exactly transpired. And secondly, Neeraj Chopra, yes, winning the silver, winning the hearts definitely, and Nadeem, Arshad Nadeem, coming up aces, all aces this time around, whom Neeraj had beaten several times. How do you reckon? How do you see it?
Um, Pankaj, this is, I mean, we were all up till early morning. I
Mm,
wouldn't say late night because it actually, we by the time we went to beds, the elders in the family actually wake up for their morning routines.
mm,
So around 2:30 to 2 a.m., we were quite certain that Neeraj Chopra, the golden boy of Indian athletics, who's changed the way people, not just Indians, in fact, the entire world looks at Indian athletes. Because
mm,
not so long ago, if you look at, say, 5 years before, then there was a very popular term in the Western journalistic media and the entire athletic community that Indians, they do not have the DNA
mm,
of being a champion on the track and field. Well, Neeraj Chopra has certainly just didn't just shatter that myth he just busted, but he went on to prove that he is perhaps, if not the only, one of the most consistent athletes of all times that India has ever produced. Between
mm.
Tokyo 2020 and Paris Olympics 2024, the 3 years of period, we've seen Neeraj Chopra doing Neeraj Chopra things uh, quite remarkably well. He's the reigning world champion in javelin. He was the Olympic champion until last evening in Paris, and uh, we all know the kind of athlete that he's been, the kind of mentality that he has. Will be There will be better days for India,
Mm.
and the national anthem will be playing, uh, and our hearts will be swelling with pride in days to come. And Neeraj Chopra will be the forefront of it. Let's not doubt about. There's no doubt about that, and let's not doubt and have an iota of doubt about what Neeraj Chopra can do for us. But
Right.
actually, it was as you just mentioned, the show stealer was Arshad Nadeem of Pakistan, the burly and bulky athlete who nobody had even given a chance I mean, before the finals even started. Yes, he threw a healthy 88 in the qualifying rounds as well. He was the third in the qualifying after Neeraj and Anderson Peters, who won the bronze medal for his throw from Grenada. So Neeraj doing, everybody thought that Neeraj will be throwing the best of the in the final as well, but a throw of 92.97 meters.
Mm,
I mean, it broke the Olympic record, which was there uh, since the 2008 Olympics in
mm,
Beijing. So when you throw something like this, definitely you are bound to get a gold medal, and it was pretty evident the way Neeraj was acting on the track as well. He was never happy with whatever throws, and let's not forget that out of the 6 attempts, the only attempt that was not foul was the one which gave him the silver medal. So yes,
mm,
Neeraj Chopra and Arshad Nadeem, the camaraderie between these two athletes goes a long way. There are images and videos of their first time when they competed together. It was in the Asian Youth Games back in 2017, where
mm,
Neeraj burst to time limelight and he won the gold medal, and Arshad Nadeem came second. And
mm,
right from there, the camaraderie, the rivalry sort of just started germinating between these two, and one of the best thing about the rivalry between Arshad and Neeraj is that Arshad rates Neeraj very highly. He idolizes Neeraj a lot because of the way Neeraj carries himself not on the track but off it as well. He's one of the nicest athletes, and one of despite being the world champion, he never carries the show off, the aura. He's very approachable, very relatable to any other Indian that we see. So, and
Right.
that's what makes Neeraj Chopra the man he is, so loved by everyone. And these are the qualities of Neeraj Chopra which actually helped Arshad Nadeem grow a lot. He's been helping. He never shied away from calling for sponsors or monetary or financial support for Arshad Nadeem. And
Mhm.
because of Neeraj Chopra's appeals, we've seen even Arshad has admitted that he got some funds to train at the foreign locations, get the best of facilities, and be one of the contenders for the Olympic medal or the Olympic podium finish. So all in all, it is a good sign for not just India and Pakistan as well. Although we are still very skeptical about what actually will happen to a sport like javelin, or whether or not it will provide an impetus or a shot in the arm that we often talk about, or the revolution that we speak of, which
Mhm.
happened back in 2021 after Neeraj Chopra won a medal at the Tokyo Olympics for India in
Right.
athletics. So let's break down what has actually Arshad Nadeem done for Pakistan. He's the first medal winner for Pakistan in over 30 years, 32 years to be very precise. Back in 1992, the Olympics was the last time Pakistan won a medal. That was a hockey bronze medal. And then
Mhm.
they won the last gold medal was back in '84, and the same sport that they played
Right.
so well. And they were the world leaders, the hockey. So apart from that, if you look at the entire Pakistan Olympics journey, there have been
Mhm.
only 3 medals prior to Arshad Nadeem. So whether it will make a difference, I don't see it will make much of a difference. If I expect, I hope that it does make a difference. A lot of young athletes in Pakistan start looking up to other track and field athletics sports to take up as a
Mhm.
career.
Right.
But because let's take an example of Arshad Nadeem. He's not been, I mean, it's not, he's not a newcomer into the scene
Mhm.
of Pakistani athletics. He's been there for the last 7, 8 years. He's been their best athlete on track and field, hands down, for the last 7 years. And
Right.
despite all those achievements that he has had, there has hardly been any assurance or support from the government side to help him get to whatever he has achieved. So whatever Nadeem has achieved, it's all his own grit, determination, blood, and sweat. With a
Mhm.
little support from his father. And yesterday, when the post the medal ceremony, he spoke that whatever I am today, whether it is financially or the mental
Mhm.
support of it, it's all because of my father who has, and let's not forget that his father is a mason. He worked at a site where he used to carry bricks. There are a lot of uh, rumors that even Arshad used to work with his father at some of these construction sites, which is not
Mhm.
true. He's been an athlete. He's played a lot of sports before he actually ventured into
Right.
the javelin sport.
Right,
I
Akash.
Yes, we hope that it brings a lot of change, a sea change in the way people approach, people take up sport. It is high time, and let's not forget the fact that there's no dearth of talent in countries like India and Pakistan. Even we can produce at least 10 Neeraj Chopras or 10 Arshad Nadeems for that matter, if we are investing in the right manner and our approach is correct. And we've
Right.
seen how these two countries have pledged on individual brilliances. Just take the team sport for example, the hockey and the cricket that we speak about, and the Pakistan and the Indian teams are so talked about in the entire sporting world.
Mhm.
But it's a very common phenomena that we witness between all these two countries and the teams is they often rise through individual brilliances. Now let's come to the Vinesh saga, Fogart saga, which has happened, and there's a everybody's eyes are somber. Everybody is shocked. Nobody understood what actually happened that fateful night. But and there were debates, rumors, rumor mongering was at its best about the sabotage and everything else. But let's not forget the fact that it is not the Indian soil where a political party or a man with a political vendetta or some vengeance in his mind can play subterfuge to your plans. Uh, she has the world's best facilities, the world's best support staff, the best, one of the best coaches that you could have, and even the support from the contingent and the chef mission as well. So the subterfuge, sabotage, it's all just a- an attempt to at times malign the government and the tips that the said athlete had with the political leadership in the country. But yes, it is a very sad thing, and we should not be pointing fingers out at anyone. See, the biggest problem with Dinesh was, and in fact, one of her uh, teammates, former teammates, fellow wrestler Sakshi Malik, right after she won the semi-final bout and qualified for the finals, Sakshi perhaps was the first one to point it out that the intervening night is going to be one of the toughest nights of Vinicius' entire wrestling career, because now she has a daunting task of cutting down her weight. It's never easy, and we should not compare apples with oranges, which the entire uh, the I mean sports fans who are generally mute and silent, and they have their honesties and the loyalties divided towards cricket, but because it's in an Olympic season, they come up with their own versions of statements and opinions. But
Right.
we should celebrate the way Vinesh Fogart was the flag bearer of India's resistance, the power of India's democracy as well. You can raise your voice at the highest level. The union government will definitely will bow down against your wishes and your grit and determination. The court will support you to the hilt. Your fellow countrymen will support you, back you, and despite facing all those adversities few months
Mm.
back, she almost had won India's first individual Olympic gold medal for women. And had she done it, it would have been a very fitting tribute to her illustrious career. The one medal, one podium finish which was lagging from her cabinet was this elusive Olympic medal. And uh, now that she has already announced her retirement, which many believe that it has been done in a haste, or she could give it a thought once again. But let's not forget the fact that an athlete's life is very short-lived. It's not a politician's life or on a competitive sport like wrestling, where you have to be at your best in terms of your fitness, your agility. Once you reach the 30-year mark, it is very hard for an athlete in such a competitive sport to be the best in the world. So I think it's a wise call from Vinesh. She understands the fact that at 33, at the LA Olympics, it would be next to impossible for her to get that there and compete at the biggest level.
Mhm.
Also, it would be injustice to the upcoming crop of wrestlers who would definitely want to uh, get inspired from someone like a Vinesh and would dream to represent India at the LA Olympics or the tournaments that will follow. And let's not forget the fact, as I mentioned before, there's no dearth of talent. The right amount of approach, the right direction, if the athlete gets at the right age and the optimum in a optimum age, will definitely help the Indian athlete scale
Right.
this Olympics podium as well.
Right.
Overall, definitely, if you look at our performance hasn't been that great. That's true, but there have been so many fourth place finishes, Pankaj. Let's not forget the fact how our shooters performed, how some of our, other athletes did. They ended up at fourth place. So sometimes it also boils down to that champion's luck.
Right.
We've seen that happening with a lot with our cricket team. It took another 10 years for India to win
Right.
a World Cup. So maybe with the champions' luck coming into play more often than not, and the athletes will be able to just learn the techniques and the
Right.
mannerisms of champions' luck in the coming events.
Absolutely, Avinash. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for breaking it down for our viewers as to how important this Olympics were, and secondly, how important it is to stay fit, and how the decision to contest in next Olympic is taken at its best level. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for speaking to One India. We would be bidding you goodbye here. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week with another episode of Editors Roundtable.
Don't miss out. Follow One India for real-time updates.